Hey, how you doing today? My name is Curtis Chaplin. I am a boxer that is pursuing his pro career, but in the meantime, I have a program called Option Zero to where I work with youth, ages ranging from 4 all the way up to 12, and I work with adults within the boxing program. So many of you guys have been asking me, hey, is it possible you can teach me how to box, or is it possible I can come down and get some lessons? Fortunately, a lot of us cannot do anything because of the quarantine and a lot of gyms shutting down. So my thing is, and my goal is to teach you guys a little bit of the basics of boxing so that you can take some of these tools, these drills that I'm going to teach you as well within this series, do it at home, do it in the confinements of your own facility. And by the time this quarantine is over, you have the gist of the basics of boxing. Afterwards, if you want, you can still contact me. I will be doing advanced classes or for advanced students, which is going to be more techniques, more drills. You can probably just pay subscription for that, but that's later on down the road. Right now, these series are just going to be the basics of boxing, stances, punches, movement, and maybe a little bit of drills. Here we have with us Vinny Morales, who is one of my students. He's also my protege and one of the assistant coaches with the kids program. He does not have any fights yet, but we're looking forward to fighting real soon. He's gonna be my visual assistant during this segment of class. Now, every coach is different. There's, so many different techniques, so many different rules, so many different styles of coaching. If anyone is watching the video, you can feel free to shoot comments or shoot your own interest or per se critique my style. But as for me, this is what I work with my students with. And this stance is usually called a razor's edge stance. Razor's edge stance is a solid stance. I feel that is good because it gives you an offensive position, but your defensive shell as well, because to penetrate this stance, someone is going to be subjective to being hit. Now, the other reason why I like this stance is because it gives you a chance to be light on your toes, quick on your feet, almost like how Bruce Lee was. Bruce Lee had almost like a razor's edge stance, and he just hopped back and forth as if he was fencing. A lot of people in the fencing world, they pop out back and forth, quick movements on the tip of the toes, on the balls of the feet, I should say, and it helps getting in and out of striking range. So the easiest way to get in this stance is there's multiple ways to get in this stance. I'll show you one. One way you can push someone and they brace themselves. Naturally, their back foot will catch them and they can get into a stance. Or you have someone jump up and down a couple times to get comfortable, and then when they stop, you should be able to adjust their stance from here. Now from here, what I would do, what I like, is for the foot to be more a little bit of the angle, because when you are in a boxing stance, your foot is going to be next to the person, so you don't want to step on their toes, but you also want to be outside so that you can have a better position. You want the back to be straight, almost solid, solid line. Front hand will rest right in front of your eye while your backhand is on your chin, but making sure that your elbow is not too high to where your ribs are exposed. From this stance, you have offense and defense. Your jab, you can throw your jab straight out, doesn't have that far to go. Your two, all you do is turn your back foot, throw the two. You can throw almost any combo from this stance. But one of the biggest things that I want you to focus on when getting in your stance is to make sure you're on the balls of your feet. If you're flat-footed, you're going to move slow. If you're on the balls of your feet, you're going to be able to move in and out of striking distance. Now, the reason why I say this is a great defensive stance is because already, if I get in my stance and I'm in front of this young man, his hand is already a threat. All he has to do, if I want to penetrate his defense, I have to focus on getting past his hand. Only way to get past his hand is to lean inside. If I lean inside, I have a straight right, a left hook, or a right uppercut. Those are 3 punches that I'm gonna expose myself to penetrate his stance. As long as he has a great jab and he's firing and he's snapping it, he can keep me away. Another thing that you want to focus on when critiquing the boxing stance is chin placement. As you can see, Vinny's chin is still tucked, but his eyes are up. His chin is tucked under his shoulder. If you have it tucked, no one can really get at that left hook in, which would clip your chin. A lot of people like to have their chin up like this when they're in a stance. It's more susceptible for a knockout. What we're going to talk about right now is movement. Movement in basic boxing is easy. You move forward, you move backwards, you move left to your right, you duck, and you'll pivot. Not that hard. As followed, one of these basic stances, basic commands, should I say, forward, backwards, left, right. Always making sure that the front foot moves first. Now, when we're moving to the left and to the right, a lot of kids make this mistake. They make the mistake of moving to the right, but the left foot moves first. Or they move to the left with their right foot moving first. You don't want that because that is gonna put you off balance. One type of drill that you can do to make sure the person is moving forward, backwards, left, right, in and out of their perfect boxing stance is one of the drills that I do for my children and the kids' boxing class. As you can see, reset. Boxing stance, reset. Boxing stance. Reset. When the child resets or when the student resets, it's always going to be to a position of attention and then snapping right into their stance. From there, you can do forward, backwards, left, right, duck, pivot. As such, forward, backwards, forward, left, backwards, right, duck, duck, pivot, 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 reset. Please make sure to share, subscribe, like our page, give me feedback. I'm not a professional yet. I'm working at it and I can always improve. So feel free to comment and like. Thank you.